out of the way.
What over here?
There's Lizzie Grubman.
Yeah.
If you want, I mean, don't jeopardize anything, no. Is this cord?
Clear?
Well, they gotta write something for themselves.
Like resting on your little stuff.
They take it anyway.
I know. Mine's killing me. I can't let you on the beat.
No, she's not even wearing like running sneakers or something, you know?
Shooting a movie tonight.
Okay, so is he carrying the CD holders?
Yeah, I'm meeting him in London for our anniversary, so I'll see him over there. Thank you.
Sorry, you look awesome
Thank
tonight.
you.
Absolutely
Thanks.
beautiful. So tell me one quick secret of putting together those red lips. You get a chance. One quick one.
Oh God, quick one. Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I did the Jean Harlow part, they made them very, very tiny, like the little cupid ones. So I made sure to make them a little bigger tonight.
Liner?
Yeah, just the liner. You know, I don't like to really give away my secrets too much.
All right, now let's talk about the handbags. So how does it feel? I mean, they've already said this is one of the most coveted bags. I mean, celebrities are wearing them. They're going.
It's been a blast. I mean, when Tim asked me to do it, I was completely honored. I've been a fan of Lesportsac. I remember 7th grade, everyone had them, you know. And then they actually sent me a bag, and I wore it all the time. And then he called and said, "Hey, you want to be a co-designer or a designer?" And I was like, I was in the middle of doing my clothing line, so it was actually a perfect way to kind of learn how to the
You've already
process.
gotten your feet wet a little bit.
Yeah, because I think that you don't realize the process of how much work goes into even a simple bag that at the end might look real simple, but you know, from the initial idea to like all the samples and all the kind of little disasters, you know, it's a long process, and it was a good way for me to learn.
So this is the year of Gwen being sort of stepping out into different things. I know you have the movie, you have the design, you have a new album, and then you have the acting. So how you're like the all
And I'm married as well, which is new. It's pretty cool, you know. I have to say that
the acting thing must be amazing.
that Martin Scorsese, my first time in, was definitely a treat. Worked with Leo, that was amazing, and I still get one more day on that, so I'm excited to go. And I wish they'd give me more parts. I had so much fun. It was amazing. But it's hard to juggle everything, and I definitely don't want to do anything that I'm not proud of or that I don't put my complete heart into. So just trying to, nothing will come out until I think it's great. You know.
You not going to the wacky way.
We gotta go.
Okay.
Can we get a fashion shot?
Who are you wearing?
Lamb, my clothing
Oh,
line.
really?
Yeah, this is my spring line. So.
Thank you. Let's go right here.
Hi, Mara. How are you?
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
I'm
So
great.
how did this come about?
Basically, these guys, Tim sent me a bag as a present, and then I used it all the time, and I was so excited because I remember 7th grade, we all had those bags, like you had to have one. And then he called me and said, hey, you can design one for myself. So I did a leopard bag with the green trim, and I had that on tour. And then he called me and said, hey, you want to be a guest designer? And I was flattered because I was already working for about a year on my clothing line, Lamb. It's coming out this spring, so it was a great way for me to kind of learn the process of design. And these guys are so professional, they made it real easy for me. We just like came up with tons of ideas, and then they kind of brought it all together and came to my house and presented it for me.
Gwen bought her first Lesportsac when she was in 7th grade and growing up in Anaheim. So.
I'm not even sure if I bought one. I think that maybe like my friend gave me it, or you know what I mean? I was like, I really want one of those.
Have you seen the photo? Halle Berry's been photoed with it.
I know. It's so weird. I mean, what I did was I just made a list of all the girls I really, really like, or anyone I've ever met. And Tim let me have a big luncheon at my house. So I had a bunch of girls over and gave me bags away. And I'm seeing them everywhere, and it's bizarre because I do music. You know what I'm saying? So, writing a song and making a bag, it's in some ways similar, but in some ways not. But you feel proud at the end of both. So that's.
Now you're acting though. You've got Aviator. Tell me about working with Scorsese.
Yeah, I just did that a couple weeks ago, and it was incredible. Probably one of the coolest projects I've ever been part of, and he's spectacular. Just makes me so excited and inspiring and enthusiastic, and I wish I could be in it more. It's a really tiny part, but
You took acting classes for it?
no.
You and Gavin gonna act together?
No, probably not.
Tell us about the word lamb.
Lamb is actually, I had a dog for about 16 years called Megan, and she was my little lamb. And I mean, her name evolved into so many different names, but the final one was Lamb, like Mary had a little lamb. She'd probably be around everywhere. But she passed on, so I decided to name my clothing line after Megan, my lamb shop. So that's what Lamb is.
Apparently one of the original designs for the design was something you had in high school or something?
Yeah, well, actually, when Tim, the head of Lesportsac, called me up, I had to remember he actually sent me a bag, and it reminded me of like 7th grade. Everyone had those bags and that ripstop nylon stuff, and I was like, wow, these are so cool. I hadn't seen one in a while, so he's responsible for kind of bringing it all back. And he asked me to be a guest designer, and I was flattered. And he made it really easy for me because I was on tour. He came out to all the shows and hooked me up, and it was a really fun process.
What are the things that have influenced your style?
I don't know. I just always kind of loved it. I think probably my mom making me clothes when I was little and spending a lot of time in the fabric store and looking through patterns and then always just wanting to have something unique and something of my own. So I sewed all my costumes when I was in No Doubt early on, and I just feel so lucky now. All I have to do is think it up, and then someone makes it for me. I'm like the luckiest girl in the world. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I think it's every girl's dream, getting to design her own handbag in her whole line of clothing.
I know. I was just saying that. I mean, it's bizarre because Tim Shifter, head of Lesportsac, called me up and said, "Do I want to be a guest designer?" And I was flattered. I mean, he actually sent me a bag that I loved, that I wore all the time on tour because it was just really practical and great. And then he said, "Hey, you want to, design your own bag?" So I designed one. And then he called me and said, "Hey, you want to be a guest designer?" So it was perfect. I was in the middle of doing Lamb, which is my clothing line. It's coming out in spring. We missed fall, so it's coming out in spring 2004. And just got all the samples in, and it's just been really a great way to learn through Tim and Lesportsac, because the process of coming up with something in your head and then the samples coming back and they're like horrible, and then having to revise, and it was a really, really fun thing for me to be involved with.
You've got Aviator coming up. I also read maybe a solo album.
Yeah, I am writing songs. The band decided to take a break this year, and everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and I want to do a dance record, on the side. So I've been writing. It's hard. It's so hard. I had to take a break, but I'm going to go to London next week and start up again. I'm excited about it. I already shot the movie. I shot it in Montreal a couple weeks ago. Martin Scorsese, Leonardo. It was one of the best projects I've ever been involved. And it was, I mean, it's a very small part, but I get to play Jean Harlow, and you know, I can't believe it. I got to wear like $1.5 million worth of diamonds, and I had an armed guard, and it was pretty incredible. Really incredible.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's just getting that body pulled up and down. He's done.
Look at me, guys. That's cute. Good. Good. Beautiful. All right. I got what I need here.
Are we clear getting up?
Back on the
Gwen, how are you?